welcome back to another reading vlog. Today is Tuesday. It's actually the first day that really feels like fall, and we finally started to see some of the first leaves changing, so this is always my favorite time of the year. I honestly had a pretty busy day at work, but Tyler and I are making a new recipe for dinner, so I thought I would just show you guys what the plan is, and then I will get into my reading plans for the week, which are many, by the way. So we're making this pot pie, like deconstructed pot pie, if you will, from the Antony in the Kitchen cookbook, which looks so delicious. The problem is I accidentally brought frozen vegetables, so now there's just like all of this frozen liquid that needs to boil off. Yeah, so we'll see. And look at these puff pastries, they look so good. All right, anyways, let's head over to my bookshelves to chat through my very busy reading plans for the rest of the Tea Leaves readathon. Let me tell you guys, last week, in terms of my reading, was not ideal at all. I have a lot of catching up to do, but this week it's kind of like a do or die moment because there's only 5 days left of the readathon, so I'm gonna try and do my absolute best to get through at least most of the books on my TBR. Okay, so let me start out with the physical books that I'm reading right now. The first one is The Box in the Woods, which is the fourth book in the Truly Devious series. I'm about 50 pages into this, and so far I'm really enjoying it. The other book that I am currently reading is The Chestnut Man. So I'm over halfway through this book, but the issue is I can't read this book late at night because it really freaks me out. There are lots of like home invasion scenes and very gruesome depictions of a lot of the victims, and so it's just a bit of a struggle for me to be okay with that, especially when I'm just about to get to sleep. So that has been more of a morning read for me, honestly. Those are the two books that I am in the middle of, and then the other book that I need to get through that was on my readathon TBR is Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte McConney. By the way, if you guys want more kind of just basic description of them before getting into this vlog, you can check out my TBR video, but as I read the books, I will be telling you a little bit more about what I think of them when I pick them up. And I am currently listening to A Lesson in Vengeance, which is the group book by Victoria Lee. I am maybe like a third of the way through the audiobook. So far, lots of witchy vibes, lots of like dark academic vibes. It is a little bit cliche, but I am enjoying it, so we'll see how I end up feeling about that one. The live show is in 3 days, so I do need to get a little bit of a move on with all of these reads. Anyways, welcome to the vlog. Hope you guys are all doing well. Here's to a fantastic week of reading. So it's now Tuesday. Just got home from work, so still have my like vest and scrubs on. I wanted to show you guys a package that just came in the mail that I was pretty excited about. It's been a little bit delayed, so I've been waiting for it. The suspense is building, and it looks like this. Before I get into it, let me give you some background. Gilbert's also very intrigued. So I really love cooking, and I have acquired so many cookbooks. Some of my favorite are like the Antony in the Kitchen cookbooks. By the way, he just came out with another one, and the edition that I got was signed. So I have one of the signatures from the Queer Eye crew from the Fab Five, only 4 more to go. Anyways, some of my other favorite cookbooks are Half Baked Harvest and Smitten Kitchen, and then Milk Street. But long story short, I really wanted to put them in my kitchen, and I like didn't have a great spot, so I was looking for the perfect bookends, and I found some on Amazon that I was really excited about. So let me show you why I picked these ones specifically. All right, so they look like this, and they have like a little slot in the middle, so I can put all of my mail that I never know what to do with it in there, and I thought that it would be a perfect little 2-for-1 situation. So I'm gonna set up these books, try and find a good spot for them. Are any of you guys also the kind of people that like unwrap your packages before you get out of your work clothes and just like have to see what's inside? Be their final home, but look at that little slot for random mail. Gotta love it. So I finally got out of my scrubs and am now in just like a flannel, which is what I wear pretty much every day in the fall. So I'm sure it will be no surprise to you guys to know that I absolutely love reading, but one of my other favorite things to do is watch TV shows, and I wanted to incorporate that a little bit more into my vlogs. So I'm going to try and make a recurring section in my vlogs called Currently Watching, where I chat about what TV shows I am watching at the moment. And oh my goodness, guys, do I have to talk to you guys about a TV show that Tyler and I have been completely obsessed with. And that is, of course, Only Murders in the Building, which is on Hulu. So this show has so many things that I just automatically am drawn to. And basically, it's about three very unlikely friends. They live in a New York apartment building, and one evening the fire alarm goes off and they all have to leave the apartment. And the three friends are Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. And I cannot tell you how perfect the acting and the casting is for this show. But anyways, they leave the apartment and they all go to this little cafe next door and discover that they are all huge fans of the same true crime podcast. And right in the middle, when the fire alarm was going off, they were all listening to the same episode. So they sit down at this table together and start just talking and getting so excited about the true crime podcast. And I am a massive true crime podcast fan, whether it's Serial, Crime Junkie, whatever it might be. I really love listening to episodes of that, and especially in the spooky season, I just get so drawn into them. Anyways, these friends discover that when they come back to the building, someone has been murdered when the fire alarm went off, and they decide to make a true crime podcast about what happened and this person's life, whose name is Tim Kono, and who killed him. And every single episode in the show, you get a different character's point of view and perspective, and you go through them making the podcast and solving the crime. And you guys, it is amazing. The finale was last night, so you can now watch all of the episodes on Hulu. So if you are a huge true crime podcast fan, I would really recommend it. I think you're going to love it. I just devoured all 10 episodes, no regrets. It was amazing. So yeah, that is my first version of Currently Watching. I would love to know what you guys are currently watching down below. But now, enough about TV shows. I need to get some reading done. I think I'm going to read Chestnut Man now, and then I am planning to do a bit more reading of The Box in the Woods. I also do have to upload last week's vlog that was supposed to go up a few days ago, but it's still not up. So I'm going to work on that and do a bit of reading and make myself a cup of tea and just have a very cozy evening at home. So you want the biggest plot twist ever? Not a book plot twist. A life plot twist. My dishwasher broke. You see how there's this flashing blue light that's not supposed to be flashing? Yeah. And the worst part is we just got all of these new dishes. Here are the boxes from those new dishes. And I was about to wash all of them and the dishwasher broke while they're all still in there. So now I get to wash all of the dishes and put in a maintenance request to get it fixed. And Gilbert does not do well with strangers, and since Tyler and I have really long hours, it's gonna be a whole situation. But we're gonna make it a vibe and film some time lapse of me washing 1,000 dishes. It's gonna be just so fantastic. All right, guys, so it is 9 o'clock. I broke a glass when I was doing dishes. So now the Roomba is cleaning up my mess and I have not started reading, but I did make myself a cup of peppermint tea and the dishwasher is completely empty. Since it is a little bit later at night, I'm going to read The Box in the Woods instead of Chestnut Man so that I can sleep tonight. But I do think there's still about an hour where I could read. So I'm really going to try and get to it and get as much done as I possibly can. Also, I'm feeling very cozy because I lit a candle. This one is called Apple Orchard, and then I also lit a fire. So yeah, gonna try and put the last 2 hours of my life behind me and just get some good reading done and enjoy this book. All right, friends, so it's time to just wrap up what I ended up reading for the day, and then I'm about to head to sleep because it's past 10. I have to get up at like 5:30ish, so I'm gonna be very tired tomorrow, but I did get some good reading done. So I ended up just reading The Box in the Woods. I didn't pick up Chestnut Man at all. I just wanted to like dive into one thing and not split up my time too much. So I got to page 103 out of like 380-ish. So this book follows a very infamous cold case that happened at a summer camp back in the 70s where 4 kids were murdered in the woods when they went to go smoke some weed. And basically, the case has never been solved. There have been a lot of theories. There have been a lot of people in the town who think they know what happened, but don't really. Now, speaking of the town, this summer camp where it happened is really close to a town called Barlow Corners, which is kind of like a creepy, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like a small town where nothing has changed and is a little bit creepy. And there are a lot of secrets kind of relating to that town that have never been uncovered. So the new owner of the summer camp has invited Stevie, of course, our famous kind of Nancy Drew-esque crime-solving high schooler, to go there and to solve the case once and for all. So at the beginning of the story, you get like 2 kind of perspectives, and I think one of them honestly is not going to be throughout most of the book, but at the beginning you get the 1970s perspective of the kids going out to the woods where they end up getting murdered, and then you also get Stevie's perspective in modern day as she's like learning that she's been invited to solve this crime. Please excuse Gilbert, he's scratching a box behind me. So far the book is really ticking a lot of my boxes. So the first one is that it's a cold case, and I love books like that. It is like set in a weird like small town, kind of deserted, middle of nowhere situation, and I also adore books. It revolves around high schoolers and teenagers, and I really like mysteries that do that. So there are so many aspects that are really drawing me in. And it's a super quick read. Yeah, so far I actually enjoy this book more than the original Truly Devious series. I think that series just got too bogged down in like all of the Ellingham characters, and I just got a little bit tired of them, honestly. And in this book you do get Stevie and some of the other characters from the Truly Devious original trilogy. I feel like there's less pressure to keep up all of these people that the reader is supposed to know, and it's like a breath of fresh air, taking the good parts from the original trilogy and just like moving on and not being too stressed about keeping up that same story. So yeah, I'm really thoroughly impressed with the beginning of the book, and I am going to blow out my candle, turn off the fire, and head to sleep and back to work tomorrow. I do have Saturday off this week, which is the live show. I'm very excited for it, but I am going to be working quite a bit in the next few days. So yeah, I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, so I just finished filming and having the Tea Leaves live show, which was so lovely as per usual, and I still have piles of books everywhere. By the way, it's Saturday, and today was my one day off work. Tomorrow I'm back at work to kind of finish up the week. I was going to get some reading done, but I'm feeling very tired today, and I know that the readathon technically is supposed to end today, so I don't know, I might just extend it for a couple days to finish the books that I was reading so that I can tell you guys my final thoughts about them in this vlog. But anyways, I'm gonna go watch some football and just eat some pizza and chill for the rest of the day. Sorry for the short update, but just haven't read a whole lot since I last checked in with you guys. By the way, let me know if you guys watched the live show and what your thoughts of A Lesson in Vengeance were. I'm not gonna go too into my thoughts because we kind of chatted about all of it in the live show itself. But I ended up giving it 3 stars, I think. So let me know what you guys thought of it. Alright guys, so I am popping in to close up this vlog. It's actually about a week later because life just kind of got away from me. It's been a busy little bit and I didn't have time to finish both of the books that I was reading at the time that I was filming this vlog, but I did finish them a little bit afterwards, so I wanted to just share my final thoughts about them. So I guess I'll chat about the Chestnut Man first. So this one took me a bit to get through and process. It was quite gruesome at times, and I definitely would say that huge trigger warning for this book for very gruesome, bloody scenes. And if that's something that really bothers you, I didn't really think it would bother me that much, but it bothered me more than I thought it would. Just kind of be cautious of that. But apart from that, I just loved so much about this book. I loved how it was both a plot-driven story and a character-driven story, and how that line was just so perfectly done. The chapters were so quick and you just got through it so rapidly, but I never felt that rush or that you weren't connected through the characters because you just had to get to the next scene of the story. I loved how throughout the book there were different big events that were kind of shocking. It really helped you as a reader figure out what was going on. I thought the way that the breadcrumbs were laid in this book was just perfect. I just don't think I've been so gripped by a thriller for so long, and I just found myself racing through the pages, just really desperate to figure out what was going on and who was behind everything. And the end of this did really surprise me. I think that there were kind of jaw-dropping moments where you kind of put the pieces together. I don't think that there was necessarily a huge crazy twist necessarily, but there were kind of big dramatic moments in this book that were just really unforgettable. And the last scene of this book was just so heartfelt and touching. And I think that it really exemplified something that this book did so well, which is taking seemingly small, insignificant moments and really using them to tell the reader something about the characters and to make those into a really significant part of the book. I didn't feel like there were any throwaway scenes in here, even though it was quite long. I felt that everything in here had a place, had a purpose. And I just so deeply care about the two main detectives in this story. I have nothing bad to say about it. I gave it 5 stars, and I haven't given a thriller 5 stars in such a long time. It just felt so refreshing to finally find a new 5-star thriller. By the way, if you are interested, I know that my thoughts are a little bit jumbled, kind of just talking about it here at the end of a vlog, but if you're interested in a full review of this, let me know in the comments down below and I would be happy to film a full dedicated review. Alright, and then the other very different thriller that I read, I wouldn't even call this really a thriller, I call it more of a mystery, was The Box in the Woods by Maureen, the 4th book in the Truly Devious series. So this ended up being a very fun and plotty mystery. It follows personally my favorite characters from the Truly Devious series and got rid of or just did not follow some of the characters that I really couldn't care less about, and I think that that was one of the big strengths. Towards the end of the Truly Devious series, I felt like the author was almost a little bit bogged down in having so many characters to follow and so many people that the reader was supposed to remember, how they were significant. And I think it was just so nice to pick the people that we actually cared more about and have them be in a different setting. But anyways, I thought that the way that this was plotted was great. It was really fast paced. It was really fun to read. I thought that the Nate really served as a great comedic relief character, which sometimes a book like this needs. And the one critique I have is I felt the end was so abrupt, everything was at the end, and I wish that we got a little bit more of Stevie's thought process throughout the book. I think that that would have been more fun as a reader to follow along with, but I do really still enjoy the books in these series. I do enjoy kind of seeing the little bits of these characters' lives that we get and following the mysteries, and I ended up giving this one a 4 stars, and it's actually probably, if not my favorite, one of my favorite books in the Truly Devious series. I just thought that this series needed a little bit of a change, and this was the perfect way to do that. That is it for the Tea Leaves Readathon blogs. If you didn't catch the first one, I will link it down below, where I chat all about the kind of beginning parts of these books. But I really hope you guys enjoyed following along with me during this readathon. I should have a video coming up soon about some of my thriller recommendations, because I do love reading thrillers, especially in October and November. So stay tuned for that one, and I will see you all very, very soon with another video. Bye.